Hi guys, it's Amy from Nail Polish Baby 90 and welcome to today's video. Today is going to be a very different video for this channel. Well, not very different. It's basically going to be a bit of a chit chat. I sat down and actually filmed a similar video to this about a month and a half ago. It was brought about because my son turned 6 months, so he's now 7.5 months, probably will be 8 months by the time I upload. And I also had my 2-year YouTube anniversary at the end of February, so I kind of wanted to do a video a bit about milestones. It was kind of like the theme of the video, but I found it really hard to edit because I jumped about quite a lot between different topics and I know that I talk really fast, so I wanted to try and film again and make something a little bit more streamlined. So first of all, I know that I didn't talk a lot about my pregnancy and birth and child on YouTube, but what I really wanted to talk about was how my skin changed and how my routine has changed when it comes to skincare and makeup and nail polish since having him. So before I got pregnant, my skin was very much on the oilier side of combo. During the summer, I was a real T-zone oil slick, and then towards the winter I would get a little bit drier, but I wouldn't say that I had dry skin by any means. During my pregnancy I felt like my skin stayed very much the same. It didn't really get as oily in the summer, not that I noticed anyway, and I felt like I didn't have to chuck so much primer on my face to keep myself matte or powdered, so that was really nice. I also found that my hair got slightly thicker. I wouldn't say that my hair was voluptuous, but I've now started to find almost like 8 months after that my hair is kind of falling out slightly after having him, and I know that that is one of the main things people say, their hair felt really nice, but I didn't notice it at the time, but I'm kind of noticing it now. Another thing that's really changed after having him is my skin is now the driest it's ever been. My hands and my face during the winter were so dry, and my lips, and I've never experienced that before. I had loads of foundations that were made for matte and I didn't really know what to do, so I wore a lot of BB cream because the foundations that I had just didn't suit my skin tone anymore, and if I did wear them they just clunked to the dry parts of my face, which was really unappealing. Since having him I've really focused on the 5-minute face, which is a BB cream, a powder, I will do like a brow gel, and then a Maybelline Colour Tattoo mascara, eyeliner, and then sometimes contour, or mainly just a little bit of blush on my cheeks, and normally a highlighting blush. I have one from Maybelline which is a highlighting blush, it kind of does 2 in 1. And that has become my 5-minute face. I will slap that on all the time, and I kind of got into a bit of a rut with it, and I'm really trying to come out of that now. And I need to, well, I'm going to IMATS London, and this video should be up before I go, which is at the start of June, and I'm going to get some new foundations and some new makeup bits just to really play and be a bit more adventurous, because I really found that anyone with a new child, or anyone with a child in general, knows that your appearance is then the last thing you're thinking about. Sometimes when I walk out the door with Austin, he looks a lot better than I do. Well, most of the time he does. When it comes to pregnancy as a whole, I would say that I was someone that didn't love being pregnant. I liked it, I got on with it, I didn't really moan, but I wasn't someone that felt like I blossomed or I was blooming or glowing or whatever they normally say. I didn't feel like that, and I don't know, a lot of people always told me that I looked like glowy and bloomy and everything, but I just didn't feel it. I felt was very tired the whole way through my pregnancy, and that's why I kind of did drop out of YouTube a little bit. I think at one point I was only uploading like once every 3-4 weeks, and I think that was before I announced that I was pregnant, and then once I announced that I was pregnant I suddenly got a burst of energy. When it comes to YouTube, I actually filmed my first YouTube video 9 days after having my son, so I didn't really stop a huge amount. I think I uploaded the day I went in because I was induced, so I uploaded that day and then I filmed 9 days after, so there wasn't a huge amount of gap. And a lot of people said to me about, I don't know, like that was, I didn't need to rush back into YouTube, but I really found that this whole YouTube journey from like 2 years to now has been so amazing. I felt like my makeup skills have improved and my knowledge has improved. I've made some amazing friends, like more than I could even count on both hands through YouTube. I've had some amazing opportunities to review for brands, and I really just wanted to keep on top of it. So I think I went down and I did about 1 every 2 weeks for a while, and now what I do is I film on the weekend, and I will always film 2 or 3 videos at once. I think I have a couple of times filmed during the week, but I don't get as much time to do like prep work, so I don't get much time to put makeup on because I'm running after a small person. Also soon I will be doing my update on my challenges that I set myself every year, and I will link that video down below for the original. I set myself challenges at the start of every year when it becomes to like nail polish, like nail year resolutions, and I will be doing an update on that in June to say how far I've got with things. I'm now going to talk about my actual pregnancy situation and a little bit about, like, no gruesome details, a little bit about my birth and what Austin was like as a newborn. So I will put like here at what time I stopped talking about that if you're not interested, because I know a lot of people don't like birth stories and stuff like that. I just wanted to really tell my story in a way a little bit because I had gestational diabetes while I was pregnant. And it was uncommon because I didn't really fit any of the criteria for what a person with gestational diabetes would look like, or the family history and stuff like that. I had it diagnosed when I was 32 weeks pregnant, and it was just on a fluke that I had high sugar turn up in one of my tests, and it all went very, very quickly from there. I felt like that towards the end, because when I got diagnosed with it, I think I had my son within about 7 weeks. If you have gestational diabetes, they don't let you normally go to term because the babies can get really big where they just suck all the sugar from you. So I was induced at 38 weeks, literally on the dot at 38 weeks, and it took 4 days for my son to be born. So if anyone out there has had gestational diabetes or is having it or worried about it, please just feel free to contact me, because I feel that I had it and I wasn't prepared for it because it came on so late, and if anyone wants to talk about it, I'm here. At the end I actually had to do insulin injections, so I had to deal with kind of a whole range of things with it. So when I went in to have my son, I was induced on the Friday and I had him on the Monday, and it was just 4 days of in and out of labour. On the Sunday night they said to me, we're going to give like one more shot at it. If you can't do it by the morning, nothing's happened, we're going to do a cesarean. So I was fully prepared for that to be an option. But within having the last lot of medicine for being induced, I went round to the actual like delivery suite within about 5 hours. So the last lot of medicine they gave me did work really, really quickly, although Austin then wasn't born for like almost a day after that. I also got an infection while I was in labour, so I had to stay in the hospital for 5 days after having him, which was a bit of a mental torture at the end because there's no Wi-Fi, which is really boring. So with a newborn baby that sleeps a lot, it was really mind-numbingly boring sometimes because visiting hours were only certain sections, so I was by myself quite a bit. My husband visited as much as he could, but it was very hard, and by the end, and on the 5th day after having him, I'd been in there over a week. I really just needed to go. So with regards to the gestational diabetes, the sugar levels in me have now returned to normal, and my son didn't test positive for anything diabetes, so we were lucky in that respect. And I did miss out on having a cesarean. At one point the scrubs were brought into the room for my husband to change into them, but I managed to not need them, thank God. I also did breastfeed my son. Mainly I breastfed him for the first 8 weeks, pretty much all me. I did the 2 night feeds with bottles because I felt that he slept a lot better on that, and then I did one or two feeds from then onwards, and then I'm now pretty much done with it. So I did mixture feeding. He's now eating normal food, which is really exciting. I did that when he was 6 months. He started crawling quite early. He crawled at 6 months. He's now 7.5, and he pulls himself up to stand, and he's just getting teeth. Literally, he's had a few of them come through today, and it's just amazing how in like 7.5 months of his life he's gone from like this tiny little baby to now like a crawling around cheeky person. He smiles, he laughs, he thinks things are funny. He loves other children, he loves like animals. He's just so curious of the world, and I will insert a couple pictures here for you because I know some people want like to know updates and stuff on him, so I'll insert a few pictures here. Oh, and I meant to say as well, that picture that you just seen, that cute boy, was £8.9 when he was born, and that was 10 days early, so imagine how big he could have been if I went to term. I had a few more things that I wanted to say quickly before we finish. The first one is that a lot of people, not a lot of people, some people with YouTube especially these days, I have been very blessed that I have never really had any negative comments. I've had maybe like 1 or 2, and they weren't even horrific. They were just rudely put things, which are fine. It is just like, let it go at the end of the day as best you can. But people out there that are leaving hate are just really sad within themselves. And I know that's really stereotypical, but people who sit and troll on videos, it's just really, I feel kind of really sad for them, because I don't know, it's just really sad. And that is the cruel part of YouTube. And the other cruel part of YouTube is that some people will use other people. I'm talking from no personal experience with this, but some people love, it's only about the numbers, it's only about the views for some people, and that is not what it's about on YouTube. Yes, that is an added bonus if you find that lots of people like what you're talking about and what you're sharing, and people get into it like that, but that's not what it's about. And I've really tried to come in at an angle from that place, and this is just fun for me, and I've been amazed that I'm at almost 3,000 on YouTube and almost at 3,000 on Instagram. That's just a crazy achievement to me. I've put in a lot of work into this channel. I've put money into this channel. I've bought nail polishes that I not necessarily would not have bought, like full collections. I wouldn't have done that when I first started, and it is time consuming. And I think sometimes people who don't make videos forget that, but I think most people, especially my group of subscribers, do appreciate, especially that I have a young child, that this is sometimes like a bit of it's hard work. It is work, and I can completely understand why some people are lucky enough to get by this as their job, because could be, if you wanted it to be, a job. You could be answering emails, filming videos, filming tutorials, filming looks all day if you wanted to, if you want to have regular content. And it is, although people think it's a fun work, which it is, I could definitely see how it could be a job. A few more nail polish questions and things that I thought I would say, because these are kind of general asked questions. Everybody always asks me what camera I use, and it's a Canon, I'm looking at the side of it now, a Legria. I will leave it down in the down bar for you. It's actually my husband's camera, which also is a nice segue. My husband does a lot of special effects and like special effects like makeup, and he does special effects what's the word, Adobe Photoshop, and he does all that sort of stuff. So if you are interested in any of that sort of, and also he does a lot of horror things, if you're interested in that, he does it in his spare time. He has started YouTube, but there's no videos on there yet, I don't think, but I will link it down below. And he has got an Instagram that is active, so if you are into that sort of thing, go follow him down below. It's called Dusk Aid Productions. The question is always, what is your favourite top and base coats? For base coats, I don't mind at the moment. I'm using the 90, both of them. All that I have as a preference is I really like to have a tinted base and a clear base to alternate between, because I find some polishes do better with one and some polishes do better with the other. With regards to top coat, the only thing I'm going to say now, and anyone with a child will know, is a fast drying top coat is a lifesaver. So I'm using Sesh Vite at the moment, is the one, that's the first time I've ever used it, and I'm really impressed. It is super quick drying. Also, see, I tried to make this more coherent, but I don't know if I have. When I was pregnant, I didn't really do that much research into, I don't want to sound like I'm a careless person, but I followed all the rules when it comes to pregnancy. But I don't know about nail polish with pregnancy. Some people said that you shouldn't wear certain top coats and bits like that, but I just wore kind of everything as I was doing before. I didn't really find the smell make me unhappy, because I know some people say the smell of nail polish when they're pregnant isn't good, but I just kind of did what I normally did. When it comes to cuticle oil, I kind of go between everything. I use the nail butter, which is, what's it called from Lush? I'm going to forget now. What is that called from Lush? I'll put it here somewhere. I use that. Oh, Lemony Flutter. I've used that a lot, and I use the OPI Avoplex a lot, as well as have some samples, some different indie brands a lot. My rest of my nail care, I guess I could probably update it. My other video is probably like 18 months old now, but I am really just a simple kind of gal. And also I always get gel pedicures on my feet, so I don't, I suppose sometimes I see videos and people comment how nail polish wears on their toes, because it tends to be a little bit more chippy, chips off quite quick, but I get gel pedicures, so I can't really comment on anything like that. So that was my little chit chat, vent, thoughts put to you guys. If you have any questions about anything that I've talked about today, just leave them down below and I'm sure to answer them as best that I can. The next couple of videos that we have coming up is I'm going to be finishing up my series of favourite colours, and we're going to go back to brands. I have the China Glaze one, I'm just finishing swatching them, and I'm also going to be doing hopefully a vlog of eye mats is what I'm hoping to, as long as my friend that I'm going with doesn't mind being in the vlogs, that's what I'm going to attempt to do. And then we have another collab video coming for the summer, so lots to stick around and watch. Thank you so much for being amazing subscribers throughout my 2-year journey, whether you've just joined me or whether you've been here from the very ghetto start. With some of my old videos were, don't go look at them, they were retro. Thank you so much for watching. Bye guys.